Meghan Markle, she may have stepped down from royal duties more than 5 years ago, but she keeps taking aim at the monarchy. The Duchess of Sussex has made reportedly at least half a dozen swipes at the royal family this year, and it's only June. So
no way, they don't want the pub.
2 state visits, and this is apparently causing a few headaches because of the president's expectations. So there are negotiations happening right behind the scenes because of what Trump wants. What's going on here?
It's hard to believe that President Trump has expectations, doesn't it? Look, he's, as you say, coming over in September.
1 minute, Tyler Perry was Meghan Markle's trusted confidant. The next, he disappeared completely. When news exploded about Perry's massive $260 million lawsuit, Meghan quickly erased all traces of him from her online world. The man once affectionately called godfather to baby Lilibet suddenly vanished from her posts, captions, and family stories. Overnight, the Hollywood powerhouse who sheltered the Sussexes when Buckingham Palace turned cold became an invisible figure in Meghan's carefully curated life. But Tyler Perry isn't just anyone. He holds secrets, texts, and emails that could dramatically shift public perception forever. Flashback to 2020. Harry and Meghan famously stepped away from royal life, becoming instant targets for relentless tabloids, public scrutiny, and serious security concerns.
As ever, her new company, the very first thing she said was, look, when I had the TIG, which was her previous lifestyle website, I loved cooking and I loved gardening and being a hostess, and she basically said I had to keep my light under a bushel at this time because of the royal family. Then we get her show, her Netflix show.
With the British press in a frenzy and royal insiders fanning the flames, the Sussexes were desperate for a safe haven. Enter Tyler Perry, Hollywood's generous powerhouse, a mogul whose empire was built on resilience, faith, and philanthropy. Known for uplifting marginalized voices and offering protection to the vulnerable, Perry extended an extraordinary gesture. His private Beverly Hills estate, complete with 24/7 security, top-tier privacy, and emotional sanctuary. He didn't stop at just offering them a roof over their heads. Perry offered them stability in a world that had crumbled. The couple moved in under his protection, away from the prying eyes of the British monarchy and paparazzi flashbulbs. Meghan, overwhelmed and reportedly on the verge of a breakdown, found comfort in Perry's warmth and unwavering discretion. The relationship evolved quickly. So strong was their bond that Meghan chose Perry to be Lilibet's godfather.
Her creativity being stunted. She says that when, she first, and, as a result of the royal family, she says that when she became a mum, she would have thought that she'd be able to have a baby on her hip and give speeches. But then, the whole drama and the pain and everything that was caused by being part of the royal family.
A title not given lightly in royal or Hollywood circles, it was an act that screamed of loyalty, respect, and enduring trust. For a time, it seemed nothing could shatter their connection. Meghan and Tyler exchanged thoughtful birthday wishes, supported one another's philanthropic causes, and even hinted at future creative collaborations. Behind the scenes, Perry offered guidance, especially when Meghan considered returning to the entertainment world. According to sources close to Perry's inner circle, the two spoke often, discussing motherhood, media strategies, and the unique pressures of navigating fame while being targeted by powerful institutions. But in Hollywood, even the most golden relationships can tarnish overnight.
And because Princess Anne has declined parties and personal fanfare for her 75th birthday, and she's instead hosted more than 100 of her charities at Buckingham Palace. So she reportedly spent more than 2 hours at this event and personally greeting more than 200 guests and thanking them for their work. Can you tell us a bit more about this?
Everything shifted when a lawsuit landed on Perry's doorstep. Actor and former collaborator Derek Dixon filed a jaw-dropping $260 million lawsuit, accusing Perry of cultivating a toxic workplace culture. The suit alleged intimidation, discrimination, and retaliatory behavior. All claims Perry has vehemently denied. His legal team branded the allegations as baseless and exploitative. Still, in the court of public opinion, scandal spreads fast and sticks even faster. Instead of issuing a statement in support or even acknowledging the media storm, Meghan went dark. Not just silent, deliberately erasing Tyler Perry from her online universe. Archived posts disappeared. Mentions were scrubbed. Even candid photos once proudly displayed were quietly removed or hidden. Fans took notice immediately. Comment sections on Meghan-related posts were suddenly flooded with a simple question: where's Tyler? online sleuths compiled timelines. Before and after screenshots flooded Reddit threads, YouTube exposés, and TikTok breakdowns.
And two totally different representations of what it is to be royal. That's right. She's spent her 75th birthdays in August, but obviously that's the time of the year, midsummer for the Brits, when they're not around. So she doesn't want to party, any fanfare, anything like that. She's had these 200 guests, all from 100 different charities.
The digital community had seen this pattern before. Jessica Mulroney, once Meghan's closest friend and stylist, was iced out after a racial controversy. Serena Williams, publicly supportive, but curiously absent during certain key moments. Even Oprah, after producing that explosive 2021 interview, appears to have cooled her public support. In each case, when a controversy arose, Meghan's instinct seemed to be one of swift strategic distancing. But this time is different. Tyler Perry isn't just another friend, he's someone with receipts. Insiders confirm that Perry, ever the meticulous businessman, documented almost every interaction during Harry and Meghan's stay. Guests at his mansion reportedly signed comprehensive confidentiality agreements, but with one notable clause. If either party was publicly disowned or defamed, the NDA protections would no longer apply. In simpler terms, Meghan's ghosting could legally unlock Perry's right to speak, uncensored. And he just might. Entertainment insiders say networks and podcast producers are salivating at the idea of a Perry tell-all. Netflix, Amazon, and even Apple TV Plus have reportedly floated seven-figure offers for exclusive rights, hoping to outdo Oprah's historic 2021 interview.
She's a working royal member of the royal family and has been for years. And it's not just some of these charities. If you look back, she's been with Save the Children, for instance, since 1970. She's been engaged with a charity which works with horses and disabled children since 1971. Wow. I mean, these are back when she herself was in her 20s.
Some speculate that Perry could leverage this moment to clear his name while simultaneously redefining the public narrative around Harry and Meghan's post-royal life. What could he reveal? Private voicemails, late-night text, strategy sessions about navigating media, monetizing the royal exit, and handling palace fallout. Emails about collaborations, brand deals, and what Meghan really thought of certain senior royals. If Perry decides to speak, it could be a cultural earthquake. Already, ripple effects are being felt. A luxury fashion brand slated to launch a wellness campaign with Meghan has reportedly paused all promotional materials. Another brand is rumored to be reconsidering its partnership entirely, citing reputational risk. Public opinion polling in the U.S. shows Meghan's favorability declining, particularly among millennial women, a demographic she had previously dominated. Media analysts say this signals a trust breakdown, one that could jeopardize Meghan's entire business model. Make no mistake, Meghan's post-royal identity is her brand. It's the foundation of her lifestyle website, her rumored skincare line, her speaking engagements, and her production company. That brand is built on authenticity, vulnerability, and empowerment. A sudden silence in the face of a friend's crisis, especially one who once saved her from emotional collapse, presents a damaging contradiction. And it's not just Meghan who's caught in the crossfire.
Her patronages, meetings and duties they spent a day. And this journalist just said she just knew everything about this charity. She knew all the people involved, the work that they were doing. So lending her name to it, of course, draws attention to it, allows for better fundraising. This is, of course, what the royal family, the whole ethos of the royal family for generations.
Prince Harry, ever the reluctant royal, is reportedly wrestling with intense guilt. Friends say he feels torn, eternally grateful to Perry for providing shelter during their darkest days, yet hesitant to oppose Meghan's current media strategy. Some say he has quietly reached out to Perry through intermediaries, hoping to soothe tensions before they escalate. Others claim Harry wants to avoid any more headlines, especially with his ongoing legal battles in the UK and strained ties with his father and brother. Meanwhile, Perry sits in a uniquely powerful position. With over 10 million followers across social platforms, he doesn't need Good Morning America or Vanity Fair to tell his story. He can go live on Instagram, post a confessional video to YouTube, or launch a Bombshell podcast episode, and the world would watch. Millions would. Meghan's team knows this and is reportedly on high alert.
You know, there's so many people parking there to visit the house. It just shows how popular the king is.
That's right. This is Highgrave, which is the house that he lives in with Camilla. This is a private house, and it's only the gardens that are open, but it's open for these summer months. Can you imagine, though? You've paid effectively 1,200 Australian dollars to park your car there.
Behind the scenes, Perry is said to be carefully preparing his options. Friends describe him as hurt but focused. He's reportedly compiling documents, timestamps, and contracts. Not to launch an attack, but to be ready should he be pushed further. Legal analysts say the moment Meghan deleted posts and untagged Perry, she may have unknowingly triggered that escape clause in their NDA. If Perry's reputation is deemed at risk due to her actions, he may have legal grounds to speak out without breaching any agreement. Meghan's team, in turn, is scrambling. Reports indicate that lawyers are reviewing every contract, clause, and loophole, hoping to reinstate NDA protections or negotiate a non-disclosure extension. But experts are skeptical. As one legal commentator noted, if you digitally erase someone who helped you survive, and that erasure is interpreted as public disavowal, you lose control. It's that simple. To distract from the rising tension, Meghan has leaned into content creation. Lifestyle videos, podcast teasers, staged candids of Montecito life. But the comment sections aren't cooperating. Where's Tyler? Why won't you speak on Perry? You ghosted the man who sheltered you. The tide is turning, and the optics are brutal. In truth, the biggest threat to Meghan's brand isn't a scandal, it's a story. A story that feels familiar. A woman who rises, sheds relationships, and controls her image to a fine, corporate-tuned point. The audience she once captivated. Those seeking female empowerment, vulnerability, and transparency are now asking hard questions. Did Meghan use Perry for protection only to abandon him when he became inconvenient? In the grand narrative of fame, loyalty matters. And silence can be louder than scandal. Tyler Perry's next move will be decisive. He can let the silence stand or break it with thunder. If he speaks, the fallout will be swift, widespread, and possibly irreversible. For Meghan, the fairy tale she's spent years rebuilding in America may once again face collapse. Ultimately, this saga isn't just about Meghan or Perry. It's about power, loyalty, and the unseen cost of controlling a narrative too tightly. Hollywood is watching. So is Buckingham Palace. And so are millions of Americans wondering if the woman they once admired is truly the symbol of empowerment she claims to be, or something far more calculated. Stay tuned, because this next chapter could change everything.